Hey guys, I wanted to take a look at a couple of artifacts we found here on the property. This is going to be kind of a continuation to an earlier video I did about the strange rock formations in our woods and trying to figure out their origin. And you guys, man, y'all left some great comments, a lot of good suggestions, some that probably are closer to what the items, what they did represent. But I had everything from some suggested that it was maybe old grave sites or leftover from mining or prospecting or land boundary markers, a dam, since its proximity to the water, it was used to hold back water and erosion, things like that. And then I had some so far as saying it was some more interesting ones, like it was alien in nature. Bigfoot possibly was marking his territory, that kind of stuff. So a lot of good comments, got a few good chuckles, and I appreciate all the input. But and of course Native American, that's where I'm kind of leaning, and that's where some of you guys suggested. I'm thinking at least the long quartz wall structure, possibly Native American. But just want to let you take a look at a few of these that we found over the property over the years, and I've found there's more. I believe my brother probably has them. I couldn't, these are the only two examples I could find. I went over to my parents' house and rummaged through some old things, and I found these two that we found on the property. But there's been numerous others, and I'm not sure where they're at this point. I think my brother probably has some of them. But just want to take a quick look at two of these little arrowhead things we found here on the property, and as you can see the size of it. A lot of these were found when I was younger, and they, like I said, they weren't just laying there on the surface. We did some excavation work on the property back behind where I live near the creeks. There was a couple hillsides that we cleaned up some briars and old brush, and it turned over the topsoil and found a couple about this size. Found one in a garden one time, like say tilling up the land to plant crops, and we found a couple. I believe this larger version here was actually found around the creek, and like I say, it's kind of big. I don't know if that's it's like a spear type, or maybe it was used for like a knife or something. It's got relatively sharp edges, and like I say, it's a pretty good size. You can see it in my hand here. A lot of the arrowheads you see are smaller. This is one of the smaller arrowheads I've found. Some of the others over the years have been about this size, maybe a little bit bigger, but roughly this shape. They had this shape right here. This one here is unique, and it's the only one we've ever found like that shape. But yeah, pretty interesting. So that, like I say, there was obviously Native American activity on this property at one time, and I'm leaning maybe it has something to do with that. Just pretty neat finds here, as you can see. But I want to look at something else. Some of you guys suggested that it was possibly maybe it could have Civil War origins or origins here, and I'll just look at these. These were actually found on a neighbor's property adjoining mine. The quartz rock wall back there. These were found as the crow flies, probably a mile from that location. There's an old house here up the street from me, where my neighbor's place. There was an older couple that lived there when I was a young child, and the house is pre-Civil War. It was built like in the 1840s, and they used to tell us that, you know, it was a place where soldiers from the Confederate Army used to spend night there at the house. They would camp on the property there. There was a well where they would water their horses and themselves, and that was what was told to us. And my uncle, I had an uncle when I was growing up. He was an avid metal detector, and we did some metal detection on the property, and he found these two. That's a mini ball, and that's just a musket ball. And as some of you guys aren't familiar with mini balls, in the Civil War era, see there's 3 grooves there. Those grooves were usually packed with like grease, and you can see it had a hollow conical base there. And the thing was, when the weapon was fired, this base would expand and complete the seal in the rifle barrel, and give it a lot more velocity, a lot more punch. And I'm not sure what caliber these are. They made these mini balls in God knows how many different calibers. I'm thinking this is a 58 caliber one. Not sure about the musket ball, but I mean, that thing, it's no wonder the injuries were devastating. That thing is probably, I think the 58 caliber version weighs about 467 grains roughly, so yeah, they could do some damage. But yeah, these were found up on that property, and so I don't know. I mean, it may have a Civil War, you know, it could be something to do with that. It's hard to say. Now, I have metal detected around these structures and never found any types of metals or anything like that. But just wanted to give you a quick look. Some of you guys were asking. A quick follow-up, some of the stuff we found in this area. Now, so far as the mining, that was a good possibility as well. I mean, there was a very lucrative, very famous gold mine in this area that predated all the California gold rush stuff. Lots of gold taken out of this area, very close to my property, a very large mine. So and the land around us is potted with old prospector pits and holes, and where people, I guess, try their luck at their fortune. But it's hard to say. I do appreciate all the suggestions, and as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a good one.